Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. In this one, we're going to be checking out the new project that Disney has in the works, which has everyone speaking right now. But just to start off, I want to tell you all my opinion on things. Just like I've been watching some of the tweets, hearing what people are saying and stuff like that, and we're going to address a few of those. But I think that the VeVe effect is going to happen here. And this is why I am still bullish towards VeVe, because it happens a lot. Like, and what the VeVe effect is, if you don't know, by the way, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications and all that stuff. But what the VeVe effect is, it's that everything that comes out with some type of IP, everyone compares it to VeVe and explains why it's a VeVe killer, how VeVe is so much more incompetent than they already are. It's just everything is 10 times worse when it comes down to VeVe when it's compared to some new project coming out. And some new project is always the reason VeVe is going to die. But I think that the only reason that these projects actually, well, I'm not saying this one in particular, but the only reason most projects tend to come out and do well is because everyone who's mad at VeVe, hates VeVe, somehow emotionally invested in VeVe one way or another, they go to these other projects, buy stuff just because they think that it's going to kill VeVe or because they wanted to kill VeVe. They're like, oh, this is VeVe's competitor. Let me get back at VeVe for being shit by going and supporting their competitors. So literally, these other companies tend to do well simply off the strength of VeVe. That's why I call it the VeVe effect. It's literally, VeVe is so powerful that any other company that comes out with IP, it becomes a big deal because of VeVe's existence. Like, VeVe just amplifies everything out there. Now, these freaking pins, it's like, yeah, it's cool. They're on the blockchain. I'm hearing people say that they're interoperable and all these other, it's a freaking pin, bro. Like, this is not something that anyone would give two shits about. Let's be realistic about this. Who is actually finna sit around wanting to collect some digital pins? See, everything is not collectible just because it's an NFT. And I think this is one of these hype projects where it's like, oh, NFT, interoperable. It's the first appearance of an interoperable, it's all of this stuff. I think when it comes down to interoperability, when it comes to these major IPs, it's going to pretty much, I don't think that that's just gonna free it up so you can do whatever you want with these things. I think that it's always going to be tied back to Disney or back to platforms that's partnered with Disney. It's going to be an official list of approved places where you can take these things. I don't think that's ever going to be completely just like other NFT projects where you can do whatever you want with the NFTs. IPs need to be protected, and this is still kind of not understood. These territories, this is not understood territories. So I think that it's just too new for people to be coming to these conclusions like, oh, this place has interoperability, the other doesn't, stuff like this. So let's get into some of the tweets and stuff I've been seeing about it. I've been hearing what other people had to say about it, so let's check it out. He says, Blockchain Rick James says, can't wait to see what Disney is doing with Polygon Labs. Disney goers treat those pins like gold. I expect bigger with Polygon Labs Disney wallet that allows you to store your trip experiences as NFTs, unlockable content, offer saving ticks your entire Disney experience in a digital wallet. Now, I will say why I believe in the project. Not that I actually care in the slightest what they're holding. I care that they're a competitor or they're in the same space as VeVe. They're going to be seen as a competitor. They're going to be looked at as a potential VeVe killer. I think the VeVe effect is going to take place where these things are going to boost in price because everybody's going to believe it's the next big thing. Because VeVe has dropped the ball so much, they're banking on this being the next big thing. And yeah, like, but these pins, it's like, it's not even cool. It's like, I don't know. The stuff that gets overhyped in this community isn't really worth being overhyped, in my opinion. We don't know which NFTs is going to come with the utility that you can do something with in the metaverse that's going to come with an actual reason for holding these things. We don't know, but I feel like Disney is testing the water. So one thing that I believe is that these IPs, they're not going to be exclusive to VeVe. I initially thought that years ago when I was very much uneducated on the project, but what these companies do, these IPs, they put it's like being exclusive to Walmart with your IP when there's Target, when there's Best Buy, and there's all other types of stuff where you could have your products at. Why would you limit the reach of your product by having it on only one place? that doesn't really make sense. So I believe that we're gonna start seeing these IPs different places, and it's gonna come down to the companies who perform the best. Now I haven't looked at Dapper's Labs and what they're planning to do, if they have a metaverse. I haven't really looked too deep into what they're planning to do with the IP, but we know what VeVe is planning to do with the IP. Now, if they're competent enough to actually accomplish it, that's a completely different debate, and we can debate that one. Because yeah, it is a different debate, but we know that their plan is to make a Ready Player One style metaverse or type metaverse, and that is going to take a long time for them to complete it. Now, I think that other companies could probably complete it in a shorter amount of time, but could those companies who complete it in a shorter amount of time actually get the IPs to match? Because right now, what we have with VeVe is more similar to Ready Player One, because we have all these major IPs and brands under one umbrella with permissions to use them within the VeVeVerse. And depending on how it's set up, I believe that that's interoperability. That's proof that there's interoperability with these NFTs already on VeVe. Even though they haven't flipped the switch and made it so you can do whatever you want with these IPs, taking it from the VeVe Collector's app and the VeVe Collector's wallet and being able to put it onto the VeVe, into the VeVeVerse, I believe that that's interoperability. Like, depending on how it works, I believe, unless they're just pulling it straight from your VeVe wallet, and that's how the VeVeVerse is going to work, I believe that it's interoperable. They're sending it to somewhere else. Like, when they send it to the VeVeVerse, it's being sent somewhere else. But I don't know. I have no idea how it's actually working on the back end. But what they've already said is that interoperability is really going to come down to the licensors, and they're still trying to plead with these licensors and convince them that this is the future and it's going where everyone thinks that it's going. So yeah, self-custody, he said I think. Eventually they'll brand their own wallet. Most of their collectors won't care about self-custody. I mean, that's a fact. Most people won't care about self-custody. That's the majority. Yeah, here goes the Diz. Like, look at these. Look at these pins are not interesting at all. It's like, who would actually just want to have these to have them? Like, people are going to be grabbing these as a chance to make some money. And it's probably the majority of people, like, look at this. The majority of people who's probably supporting this project are probably all from the VeVe community. The majority is probably from the VeVe community. Actually, it's some random people. Oh, verified followers. Let's see, followers. Look at this. I'm seeing O's, some random people who don't look like they from VeVe. VeVe. It looks like it's actually not a crazy amount of VeVe, at least not the ones that's being shown. It is a good amount of VeVe, but you know. But anyway, so here's the last post that I wanted to actually speak on a little bit. Disney wants to protect their IP, that's why it's not interoperable. And then they took it to a platform that says that it's basically going to be interoperable. I don't think that that's still the same narrative. I don't think that people are still saying that Disney wants to protect the IP, that's why it's not interoperable. I think that with interoperability, it's going to be limited interoperability. So it's going to be able to go places that's approved by VeVe. That's personally has been my thought and my perspective for a long time now. It's going to be a controlled interoperability where it's not just completely free in the wild, wild west. It's not Web3. I have never believed that these IPs was going to go full on Web3. Maybe Web 2.5 is like a better saying when it comes down to this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is just some of my thoughts on this. I told you all I was going to speak on it. I don't think that this is a VeVe killer. I don't think this is much of a threat. I honestly don't even think that these things are that cool or valuable, but I probably would grab a few, check them out, mainly because people are going to overhype them, and then it's going to be the next thing that everyone who hates VeVe, they're going to jump on this because they're going to believe that it's going to kill VeVe because VeVe's been incompetent. So they have a chance to get back at VeVe by supporting this random project. So, I mean, and it could do well. It could do well. Like, there's other factors in play here. These are the first NFTs on the flow chain or whatever it is, like whatever this blockchain is and all that. Like, there's other reasons why these could be valuable. But as far as what an NFT, me personally, when I look for NFTs these days, I don't just look at the fact that they're NFTs. I'm not a collector, so I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at longevity and what's going to have the most value in the long term. And what's going to bring the most value in the long term is multiple use cases. I can't imagine a bunch of cool use cases for freaking pins. So yeah, me personally, I'm not interested. But I may still do it just to do some flips, just because I know everybody gonna be overhyping it and it's gonna be money to be made more than likely. But Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's just my thoughts and perspective. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.